All right, guys, here we are for the SZ Racing SZR After Work Party. 690 to 1,000 advanced category. 40 riders in the pen. 45 seconds to start before going coastal. It is flat. It is fast. It is an awkward sprint. So it's going to be furious today. Got 30 seconds to start before day 37 straight of racing. 37 straight days of racing on Zwift. So far, 20 seconds to start. Legs are heavy, heavy, heavy from the NYC KOM after party yesterday in the Masters. Let's see how we can get into this. 5 seconds to start. And here we go again. All right. Should be just the advanced with the advanced. Not a mass start. Wow. Look at this already. Okie dokie. That'll wake the legs up. Woof. Quite the start. Okay, now just want to carry the speed of the group through the desert. Saw some big names in the pen. Those will probably pop up on the screen soon enough. A lot of team. There's Indoor Spec. The indoor specialist. Very solid rider. Super solid rider. A lot of SZ, Team SZ. They're in the blue, the speckled yellow kit. And they work really well together to keep all these events fast and furious from start to finish. These races never disappoint. Okay. Awfully quiet so far. Usually just means it's gonna be really tough towards the end of the race. There we go. That is the lead-in done. 16K to the finish line. A lot of it's desert. But once we get to the coast, it is windy, it is up and down. That's where all the elevation comes into play. It's only like 100 meters of elevation, but it all comes into play along the coast. All right. Still waiting for my legs to wake up. Not quite there yet. Not quite there. All right, here comes the first attack by an SZ rider. Instead of just letting them go with 15K, this peloton is responding. All right. See where this is headed. There we go. Back into the fold. Breathing and moving. Okay. Five and a half K into this race. Six K in, 12 and a half to go. Right about, there we go. Almost a third of the way done. Let's get under 12K. There it is, 12 kilometers to go with the group. Oh, yeah. Okay, this group's going to chase down every little move. Okay. All right. Okay. Coming up on halfway done. Just trying to keep in the spirit of the ride. Average speed so far, 45.8. That's pretty good. Okay, over halfway. Okay. 11K in. Oh, yeah.
I'm toast.
Breathing. Okay.
I'm toast.
Two guys off the front. $4K. There we go. Okay. Less than 2K. Okay. Lucky number 13. Oh God. Okay. 7+ seconds out of first. Whoops. But 11th in a hotly contested sprint. Tenths of a second separating. Look at everybody, 7 seconds. Top 20 was all in the 7-second behind range. Top 20, 25, 8 seconds. Top 30, 10 seconds. That's a lot of riders in a very, very small pieces of real estate. Tenths of a second, hundredths of a second. Oh gosh. I think I did pretty well to keep it at 4 watts a kilo. Kate Jackson of Team Burrito, 3.8. Emmett of Team SZ, 3.8. But look at Reisberg. Look at that. Reisberg. I apologize for butchering the name. 3.7. Very smart. Got a 3.9 up here. And then I believe Steinman was just out there on his lonesome with Nielsen for a while, and then it looks like Steinman distanced Nielsen right at the end. And then the rest of us got there 6 seconds back. So from third place on down, there were like 27 riders separated by 3 seconds total. Something like that. Which is pretty gnarly. Less than 3 seconds total, really. So, yeah, I mean, that course is so flat. So the Peloton's gonna make it through. Even people who are tired are gonna be making it through to the sprint. It's a tricky course. You would think like, oh, there's 100 meters of elevation. Like, how bad could it be? But you see, once we turn off the desert and we start to go through the coast, that's where people are not afraid to kick it and just kind of send it a bit through those whoops. Try and soften anybody up that they can before we get to the finish there. Recently, I have not been smart at the finish of that race with that finish line. I've done Jurassic Coast, I've done this one, Coastal whatever. Wait, why can't I remember the course I'm even on? But probably because I just have PTSD from going through Titans Grove and then trying to do the sprint that we just did. Anyway. Oh gosh. That was a good one for a Friday. Anyways, like I was saying, I was botching that sprint. I think I did a better job of making sure there were some wheels ahead of me before I sent it. And that at least just kind of helped me hold the place. I don't think I gained any places. Net gain, net loss, I think was 0. I think I was kind of like 11th going into it. And some people got ahead of me and some people got behind me, and I finished 13th. So what am I talking about? I think I saw 11th. I faded to 13th, but I didn't fade any further than that. Lucky number 13. It's like, seriously, the number's literally plastered across my butt right now. And I'm thinking I finished 11th. Jeez, guys, I'm telling you, I get into these races, I finish these races, there is no blood in my brain. No ability to put together rational, reasonable thoughts and sentences, let alone paragraphs. But here I am, still trying to wax philosophical at a compromised mental state. That's me. Okay, so 13th. Finished 13th. I'm gonna have to go back and review the tape and see just how high up I was before the sprint started and just how far back I got and then where I ended up. Did I take any wheels? Did I lose wheels? What happened? I don't know. It was a blur. All I knew was, okay, there's the line. Got to send it down that little hill and then just keep going through that left turn and up. So, yeah. All in all, good race for today. Tomorrow will likely be the tiny races. So I feel like this effort, which was only like 19K, was perfect for today. It was mostly just a steady, strong effort with a few pushes through the whoops of the coast and then one concerted effort at the end to push to the line. So there we go. Yeah, not going to the radio tower, kids. We're just gonna go around to the jungle ruins. We're just warming it down. Okay, so yeah, much smarter finish on my part. I was it was like Goldilocks and the Three Bears. My porridge was way too cold the first time I did it. I was on the back of the peloton and couldn't get through. Then my porridge got hot for a couple tries where I was just too far forward when the sprint started. And I think this porridge was just right. I think that was about as good as I was going to do today. And so I'm pretty happy with how I rode that in its entirety. Very efficient with the watts per kilo, just staying with the group. And then decent execution at the finish. Decent execution for me. There are far better sprinters out there with better execution and better power than me. But in my world, in my existence, that was pretty good execution. And it went all right. Pretty good. Pretty good, yeah. Okay. So now all that's left to do is just keep warming down. Keep spinning the legs out. Hopefully be in a decent position to send it 4 different times tomorrow in the tinies. Eric of Zwift Insider. He is a tiny evil genius. I don't look at the course until day of. I do not want to think about what I have to do tomorrow until I have to do it. No point in racing the tinies in my head over and over and over again before I have the chance to race the tinies for real. Gotta always ask yourself those questions, right? When you get, when the tension kind of comes in, oh gosh, it's tinies tomorrow and that takes a lot. You just gotta ask yourself, is there anything I can do about it today? The answer is no. I can't race them today. Well, what can I do? Well, I just did it. I had a nice race, very efficient, good execution at the end. Got my 37th race in a row done. And now it's just about hydration, nutrition, rest, mobility, so that I can get up tomorrow and do what I need to do. So although I can't race the tinies today, there are things I can do to prepare. It sounds really silly, but it's for anybody out there who worries about the future, you have to ask yourself, can I do anything about it today? And if the answer is yes, it's Saturday, it's time to do the tinies, then you do the thing. But if the answer is no, the thing I need to do is not until tomorrow, then you got to let that part of it go. And the next question you ask is, what can I do to prepare for tomorrow? Sometimes there'll be things you can do and sometimes there won't be. And then you can just try to make peace with it. I know that sounds really simple, it sounds really easy, it's super hard to do, but take it from somebody who is a chronic worrier. That's me, by the way. I'm the guy, I'm the chronic worrier. That is what I try to do on a daily basis. Ask those very simple questions. It's a downsized version of if this, then that. Anyway, I am just talking your ears off at this point. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that ride. Hopefully you guys got your racing in today. I'd love to hear about it. Be awesome to hear how your rides are going, how your races are going. If you've done this course, what do you think the best approach and attack is for that sprint. I've done it from tail gunning without success. I've done it off the front without success. And I've done it about 10 or 15 wheels back, and that's been the best one so far. But what's your experience been? What are your thoughts? And it might be different for everybody. I mean, you might be somebody out there with 12 to 14 watts a kilo stored in the tank for your sprints. And if that's you, you don't have the problems of the common man. That is not your problem. As long as you make it with the group to the finish, you're pretty well assured of a good placing. Others of us, this guy again, need to be strategic. Very, very strategic. Because I've got about 10 to 12 watts a kilo at most. And I've got to know when and where to use them. I need other people's wheels. I need to know when to start my sprint. I got to know all that stuff. I'm still refining, still learning. Always things to learn. Always, always, always. Okay, I'm catching myself. I'm getting long-winded again, guys. You know, I probably need to start streaming these live so you guys can get in the chat and be like, dude, enough. Cut it off. Stop talking. We saw the race. Why are you keeping us here? So maybe I'll figure out how this OBS software that I use to record my rides works with streaming. And I know it definitely works with streaming because I believe that is exactly what it's set up for. And instead I took the recording first. But I probably have enough rides under my belt to start streaming. So let me do some research. I like to research things before I jump. You know, I'm the guy that looks off the cliff, looks from this angle, looks from that angle, looks from over here, and then I decide to jump. That's just how I do things. I like to do my research. But who knows? Maybe we'll have a live stream of one of these guys pretty soon. Stay tuned for that. Oh, guys, it is Friday. We are heading into the weekend. I hope that your rides all weekend long are terrific. Let me know how they go in the comments. Thanks for being here. Thanks for liking. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for everything. Keeps me accountable, keeps me motivated. I truly appreciate it. I'm just going to continue to spin out the legs from here. So, for now, that's all from me.